Hey YouTubers, this is Old John. Going to make a video on replacing the motor on this treadmill, the C2300. I have the cover off. Here's the cover. It has screws on the side and on the front. 3 here. C2300. This is about the third motor for this, which is not a concern because they guarantee the motor for life. And we've had this for over 10 years, and my wife is an avid runner, running like 6-7 miles a day. So we finally decided to get a commercial treadmill, and that's this here, and I've got links to the video of putting it together if interested. It's really a great video, and there again, it's meant for daily use and hundreds of miles a week, which this one wasn't. It was residential, so, but it's held up well. But the motor again started making noise, and in the past you only had to disconnect the spring here, which disengages the roller from the motor, and then listen to the motor and see if it made noise. Well, now NordicTrack wants you to also disconnect the drive belt from the motor. So that's what I've done, and you basically do this by removing these bolts here and then taking the belt off, which wraps around here, and then once you get that off, then mount the motor back on the frame and then run it and see what happens. So we're going to do that now. Okay, so we're going to turn it on and see how it sounds. It's very noisy, and see, it's not turning the pulley or the roller on the front of the treadmill, which if this was getting bad, you wouldn't necessarily be able to tell if it was this that needed to be replaced or the motor. So this isolates the motor from the front roller and tells you that it's the motor. So I convinced NordicTrack of that, and they sent me a new motor free of charge. And here it is. With the wires that have to be reconnected, and instructions on replacing the drive motor. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, we're ready to take the motor out. Okay, the first thing you need to look at is your wires. Okay, the new motor has 4 wires, and the old motor should have the same number. So straighten your wires out. You gotta figure out where they go. Red wire is going to hook here on the left, and there's a black wire. So the black and the red wires need to go into there. It's extremely dirty work, just doing a little bit here. I've got this carbon-like dust or plastic or leather off of the belt, whatever it is, but it's just full around here, so I want to wear gloves probably. So I'm going to take the motor out, leave it wired on until I know exactly where these other wires need to go. So I'm using a 1/2 inch socket here. I put some blocks of wood underneath the motor down here because it's going to tend to drop down when I loosen the nuts. So we'll see if these will maybe keep it up for a little bit. There's a series of bolt holes down here, so you want to be sure you know which holes to put the nuts back in. There's a fan that goes on the end of this motor, and this is the new one. Gonna have to hold the motor up a little bit, take the pressure off. Pull the nuts out. Get new bolts with the new motor. There's the other one. Okay, that blue one, disconnect from there. Black's going to go onto the right side. The red. Okay. That takes some of the pressure off of the motor. Put the new motor in. Put the black wire down through the bracket here. Thread it up. And connect it right there next to the red one. And one of the blue wires, and don't think it matters because they're both the same color and everything. So put one down through the bracket also. Hook it into this wire underneath. The blue wire. And you got the other blue wire is going to go over here. Probably can't see that from this angle. I put these ties around the wires to kind of isolate them and keep them out of the way. So this red wire is going to go here to where this red wire is coming from, which is right next to the black wire. Put that there. And then the other blue wire is going to attach in here. You're under this frame, so it's hard to get any pressure on it. Okay, so we got the old wires out. The old motor out of the picture, and I'm going to put it in the box that the new one came in. And it's heavy, so be careful. There, that's it. Like so. Okay, we still have blocks of wood underneath. No, we don't either. Need to put those back under there to push the motor up. Belt, try to put the belt in about the middle of each roller. Okay, get one started, and here's it's best to tighten it up. And that helps line the other one up maybe. Now you got the belt pulling on you. Push your blocks up. I think I got it started. Okay, there's the motor in, belt on. Let's not have the spring on yet. Turn it on and see how it sounds. Okay, there it is, running. Definitely very quiet. So now we have to hook the spring up and calibrate it. Okay, there's the spring on. It's pretty tricky to do. There's the spring. That will now engage the front roller. If you want to take this belt off, which I have a new belt for this but I never replaced it, a little ragged on the edges, you have to take it off with this roller, which means loosening the rollers. It's quite a job. Okay, there's the belt going. Hopefully it looks and sounds good. Okay, we need to adjust or at least check the motor controller speed. So we remove the key and unplug the power cord. Okay, we gotta find the maximum speed potentiometer. Appears to be right here. It's right here. It's a little yellow thing. It's got a groove in it. And we got to try to get it to 12. Gradually take it up here. There's 8, 10, 11. 4.0, so I don't think we need to make any adjustments. Now we need to test the incline. There's 3, 6, 8, 12. Looks like it's working fine, so I don't think we need to calibrate. I'm putting the incline back down. Here are the instructions for adjusting the motor controller. I was just doing this step here. That's the potentiometer. Here are the instructions for replacing the drive motor. Pretty good. Now we're ready to put the cover back on. There's screws that go in here, and here underneath, and 3 under here. And then it'll be ready to use. Okay, YouTubers, there's the old treadmill with a new motor in it. Had a new controller put in it, new belt, so it's like new in some ways. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. I'll leave a link to the replacement of the motor I did back, I think it was in 2013. I'll leave that information. So give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Give me comments on other things you'd like to know about working on the NordicTrack Treadmill, or any other ideas of videos you'd like. I have a lot of do-it-yourself videos. My YouTube channel is Harrison4803. Stop by and see if you're interested in working on mowers, electrical work, generators, cleaning carburetors on mowers and generators, solar panel project. I have a couple of solar panels that I use to run my refrigerator, which is your most energy producing appliance in your house next to your air conditioning and heating. So anyway, this is Old John signing off.